Hi, everyone. This is Eric Kelly from the finance department at UT, and I'm joined by my colleague Michael Yates. And we're here talking about the Finance Department Advisory Council meeting on Friday, March 31st. So, Mike, what's going on with the Finance Department Advisory Council?
So the Finance Department Advisory Council, which I'm just going to call FDAC for the rest of this interview, is a group of industry professionals from sort of locally and a broader geographic sense all across the country that have volunteered their time to work with the finance department and help us sort of marry industry needs to curricular needs in finance. So they advise us on what types of things our students need to know, what kind of skills they need to have to stay competitive in sort of the ever evolving finance market.
I think it's important to note that every individual on the advisory council has a specific connection to UT. So this is not like some national organization. This is all about us. So these are people who perhaps graduated from UT or have lived in Knoxville or do live in Knoxville. Some of them have kids who go to UT. But at the end of the day, this is a lot of people who deeply care about the department and ultimately the outcomes for our students. So it's great to have them here. But the reason that I guess we're talking right now is there's a part of this meeting that is specifically devoted to the students themselves. And so what's going on there, Mike?
So what we're going to do is we're going to host a networking event because we want our students to get to meet the FDAC members, and honestly, the FDAC members really want to get to know our students. So we put together this networking event that at worst is going to give students an opportunity to talk with the FDAC members and learn about the various fields that they work in, and they'll have the opportunity to interact with every single one of them on a personal basis and to ask questions about what they do. And I would say it'll also give students a great opportunity to practice their networking skills, things that will be useful for, say, job interviews that they'll run into later in their lives. And then I think in a best case scenario, it could also lead to opportunities with the firms for whom our FDAC members work if they make a good impression.
Yeah, and on that note, I know in the last couple of years, so we've done this part of the meeting a few different times, but in the last couple of years, I know specifically a handful of students have more or less gone straight into interviews with people from the FDAC meeting, even that afternoon. So you never know what's going to happen when you make these connections. But this is available to finance majors, junior and senior finance majors. Space is limited. My understanding is space is limited. It's potentially competitive. So there will be a Google form that I know I'm emailing to my students, you're emailing to your students. And so students will get a hold of this, but certainly it's important to respond very quickly if you're interested in this opportunity. Anything else about the networking event you think folks need to know?
Yeah, I would just say that it's important for a couple of reasons that students only RSVP if they intend to show up. You know, it reflects poorly on our students, both the individuals and sort of at large. And it also takes an opportunity away from a student who might want to come if we run out of space. So I would just ask that students, please, please do come if you're interested, but only RSVP if you intend to show up. And if you're not going to show up, let us know. And then one other thing I'd point out is we're going to have an opportunity. So after the roughly hour-long networking session that students will have, about an hour after that, we're planning to have a reception that'll be perhaps even more informal than this networking event, where we'll have snacks and a chance for, if students and FDAC members have made a connection, a chance to sort of follow up and chat and get to know one another better.
Yep. And I think interesting enough, just as I have informally chatted with members of the FDAC, this is their favorite part of the meeting. And for many of them, they might even say this is the only reason they come to campus. They put up with us for a few hours so that they can talk to our students. But
Can I chime in with one additional detail?
oh yeah,
The last thing I'd say is just that networking events can be a little intimidating, especially for students who don't have a lot of experience with this. But you and I are going to be there to be moderating these sessions in such a way that it's going to feel comfortable, it's going to feel natural, and there's not going to be a lot of stress on the student's side.
yes, yes, definitely. So, and I enjoy it. I mean, I have fun going to these things because it's facilitating those connections, and relationships. So I'm excited about the event. I know you're excited, Mike, and hopefully, students who are hearing this, you'll get excited as well and join us on March 31st.